Alright, this fucking guy right here. This is Rick. If you don't already know, now you know. This is Rick. I think Rick is genuinely one of the best made characters in the entire game. I love what they did to his character from the beta. I think he takes a ton of skill to play. He has tools for a lot of different situations and can cover a whole lot due to his portals, polymorph, his Meeseeks. But sadly, right now, the meta has a lot of way more broken characters than him. I think Rick is pretty balanced, honestly, as a whole. His strength is really good. He could use some tuning, like his jab could definitely be nerfed a bit, but he would need some buffs in other areas to compensate. So I think he's relatively good, but there's a lot of characters that are really, really strong, and a lot stronger than him. Let's see, what are we going to start with? Bad matchups or good matchups, chat? What do we start with? Let me know. Are we starting with Rick's worst matchups or best matchups? Honestly, I don't think he has that many good matchups. I feel like he has more even matchups than anything. Bad matchups. Alright, 30-70. Let's see, who's 30-70? Dude, 30-70 or 40-60 is going to be a little tough to decide. Because, like, there's a lot of bad matchups, and I just can't, like... Alright, let's not beat around the bush. And let's just be honest. Are all those 30-70 matchups? It's tough, man. I don't know. With Rick, like, most feel winnable, but this shit is just brutal. A lot of these I feel like could be 40-60, maybe there, but so Finn, dude, Finn has his grounded side special, aerial side special, both negate my projectiles. He has BMO, which reflects my projectiles, and he has the high five, which reflects my projectiles. So that shit is just miserable. Like, and his jab has more range than my jab. Crazy. His up tilt is the best anti-air tool in the entire game. That move is actually insane. And he can kill you at 30 if he gets one read, I think. Probably one read. Don't forget armor buns, literally another option on top of his already natural kit. Like, character's just absolutely... And, by the way, him just standing there, not even crouching, my lasers don't hit him. Very cool, very cool. Lasers, only, like, a major part of my kit, you know? Only, like, really necessary to win with Rick. He just stands there, and my lasers miss. So that's pretty cool. I can maybe edge guard him a little bit, like that's kind of the win con, and just whiff punishing all day. But like whiff punishing against Finn, like you need them to make mistakes. It's the only way you win is if the Finn player makes mistakes. Wonder Woman is another tough one. I mean, I just literally this one was fresh, just played it. I have to camp for my life. I can't approach ever because Rick doesn't have good approach tools at all. Like his approach tools actually suck. So and she has armor and I have no armor breaking moves, so I have to dedicate a perk or two to armor, and then I get full charged attacks, break armor, which doesn't even work for laser. Very, very cool. That leaves me with literally only Sair, and then dash attack, which Rick's dash attack sucks. So what do I do against armor? Run for my life and pray that I don't get hit. Also, biggest problem right now is that I can't kill Wonder Woman until about 140, 150, and she kills me with a Sair at 80. So I have to work way harder than Wonder Woman to get the win, and just the matchup is just not good, man. It is just miserable. Like, it's been really bad since the beta. and it's still really, really bad. Well, I don't know what I would need to make that shit easier, to be honest. It's like her kit is just a Rick negator. Like, she's an anti-zoner, and I'm a fucking zoner. It's kind of that simple, to be honest. So, I think her weight, honestly, just even lowering her weight by a bit would really help a lot, or buffing Rick's kill power, because the fact that she kills me so much earlier than I kill her is like, it's just sad, man. It makes it really, really, really difficult. On top of the fact that I can barely use my projectiles against a decent Wonder Woman. Like, it's impossible to use any of my projectiles against a good Wonder Woman. It really is. Not gonna hit charge laser unless I get a crazy portal mix-up. Meeseeks, if you get hit by, you're just, I don't know, you're messing up. Like, you're making a mistake. So, shit's tough, man. Shit's tough. Arya, it's just like, dude, what do you do in neutral against Arya? She just down tilts, and there's not really much you can do about it. You gotta try and beat it out with jab, which is really, really difficult. But then she also got her jab, which is just terrifying. She can combo you and kill you so freaking early, and Rick can get some early-ish kills on Arya, but like, it's just tough. Now that she could crouch on my lasers too, I can't really camp her out. She has such good burst options to get in if I try and camp her out. Like, she can just wait for knife cooldown, throw knife, and if I make a mistake and get hit by it, like, I eat a shit ton of damage or I die for it. So matchup's just tough. I feel like I can't keep up in neutral. She just has more kill power, like, better combos. She just feels like she does everything a bit better than Rick, to be honest. I guess the only advantage I would have is when she's in disadvantage. Being able to ledge trap and edge guards, probably where I could shine, but she could also edge guard me pretty well if I don't save portal, so I don't know. Honestly, thinking about it, ledge trapping and edge guarding against Arya, I feel like is a strong enough win con and polymorph that I'm gonna put her in 40-60 thinking about it, because neutral feels so bad and her kill power and combo game is better, but she is pretty weak off stage, and I feel like Rick can take advantage of that pretty well. So I think 40-60 is fair. She still wins, but I don't think it's quite 70-30. Yeah, Arya might have the best neutral in the game. It's insane. Insane what that character can do. Morty is a nightmare for Rick. I really can't do anything about Dirt. His laser comes out instantly and is unreactable. Very cool. He also, like I said, Rick's biggest advantage and where he shines is edge guarding, ledge trapping when he gets his opponent off stage. What happens when you get Morty off stage? He takes a spaceship and flies all the way to the sky and you can't do anything. Or he uses his random ass armor side special move, and guess what? Rick has no armor breakers. Very cool. So, what do you do against Morty? You lose. You try and avoid Dirt, fight for your life. Meeseeks does at least go through Dirt, so you have that to try and use, but Meeseeks is so slow that if they see it coming, like, they can easily punish you for it as well. So it's a really rough matchup. He has a lot of ways to even destroy Meeseeks. Lasers are pretty much useless in the matchup, which makes it really tough. Even jab combos, he's so light and so small that, like, your jab and portal combos don't really work that well against Morty, so that's it's just a rough matchup, man. Once they nerf Dirt, like, that should help a lot, because Dirt is a problem. Just even the weekend, man. The fact that he kills Rick so early, too, is crazy. You hit Dirt at, like, 85% on Rick, up air, it's the easiest combo ever, Dirt and up air, and he just dies at 80. Like, it's tough, man. It's tough. So, Batman is, I think, the last 30-70 matchup. Another miserable matchup that has been miserable since beta. Luckily, Dash Attack at least has some whiff, so if you bait out Dash Attack and avoid it, you can punish him for it, which is good. But you have to spend the entire time playing around Batman Dash Attack because it goes under laser. So you got to be really careful using laser. He has so many good approach options, and Rick just has to run for his life and try and whiff punish all day. It's really hard against Batman. Off stage, Rick just gets absolutely abused. When you get Batman off stage, you can't even really punish him because he has up special on ledge. He has up special on ledge, and he just sits there and throws his up cape, which is the biggest move ever, and can't really contest it unless you have a crazy portal setup. That's the only way. Maybe like a polymorph, like covering on ledge is kind of tough, but like it's really really difficult. Like fart bomb is completely useless. Buff fart bomb, by the way, man. That move is like I thought it was decent at first, but man, that move sucks. Like really, look at that move and tell me it doesn't suck. Like, please nerf jab, buff fart bomb. I'll take that trade every day of the week. That's how you make balanced characters, man. Don't make Rick have the best jab in the game with like the worst down tilt in the game. Make it make sense. But yeah, Batman's rough. He could just destroy you in advantage. You can't really punish him too much in disadvantage. You got to run for your life. He can juggle you for days. His slide just goes under everything. Like it's a really really rough matchup. So let's see who else is in 4060 aside from Arya. Let's do Mr. Shaggy. Shaggy just like feels like Rick has decent tools to deal with Shaggy too, but it's just the fact that like I'm sure a lot of you have seen the Wolfside clip where he combos Shaggy for like 10-15 seconds straight, and then Shaggy just does charge sidekick and Rick dies at 70. And that's kind of the matchup in a nutshell, you know? You have to work really hard. You kill Shaggy like 120, 130 off of a portal combo, maybe. He might live even longer than that. And he gets a jab at 70 and you die. It's a sad life. Sad life. It's like Rick, at least like Shaggy's the only character I feel like that doesn't have anti-zoning tools, but it just doesn't even matter because when he gets in, you get punished for it so hard. And you can't even actually I lied because his anti-zoning tool is charge, Shaggy charge. If you zone him from too far away, he just charges and then has the charge attack. So you have to like camp in his face, which is really really scary against Shaggy because of his crazy burst options and crazy strong options in general. So 4060, who else is next aside from Shaggy? I'm gonna put Joker. Honestly, I feel like the matchup itself isn't even that bad. His cards all do destroy Meeseeks and beat lasers, which suck, because Rick's projectiles suck. The fact that the combo character Joker has better projectile game than Rick. Come on, man. Like, really? His combo game is also slightly better than Rick. Rick's combo game is pretty good against Joker, so, like, but Joker is just next level. But the real difference, too, is the kill confirms, like, Joker is heavy for no apparent reason, and Rick can't kill him until like 130, 140, and Joker gets a jab at 90% and you die from the easiest combo ever. So I think Rick can keep up decently well with Joker compared to the rest of the cast. Playing around his jab, obviously, like you can definitely put up a good fight against Joker, but the real difference is him having a better projectile than the zoner Rick, and him being able to kill stupid early and live forever. I think that's kind of ridiculous. So next matchup is Little Gizmo, who I hate with a passion. One of my least favorite characters in the game. Him and Morty, least favorite characters in the game, least favorite matchups. He just does this popcorn at note setups, and you can send Meeseeks, but like he can so easily just jump over the Meeseeks and continue doing a setup. So it's a really really tough spot. His arrow beats everything, literally everything in Rick's kit. His charged fire arrow is just an insane option. Up air is absolutely ridiculous. Car Rick can deal with somewhat, but it's still really really hard. This Gizmo is just way better kill power. Like, you can kill him kind of early, but he can also murder you really, really early as well. Like, even with Umbrella having decent whiff, because he stays in the air with it, you can't get your optimal punish with Rick, which makes it tough as well. So I feel like just the charged arrows is really the biggest problem with his matchup right now. That just destroying everything Rick does. Like, you have to, yeah, you can set up Golf Club Meeseeks, I guess, but like, why would he can just hold it and not shoot it. He can just wait. Like, it's an insane option. It'd be like if Rick could charge his laser and then just shoot it whenever he wants and save it. Like, it's insane. So 40-60 matchup as well. Let's go Steven. Steven's a really tough matchup for Rick. Another one, he has shields that just can beat all my projectiles. You know, it's really really tough. Being above Steven is an absolute nightmare. I do have jetpack, and that helps a bit, but also Steven's offstage game is insane. Like really really good offstage, which is where Rick normally shines. But edge guarding Steven is like he could literally just hop on the shield and regain his resources back. So it makes it really tough to edge guard him. And even you could just up special on ledge. So if Rick can't ledge trap or edge guard you, the matchup's probably rough. The matchup's probably rough, and I feel like that's the problem with Steven is Rick can't really edge guard him, ledge trap him much, and his shields just have so much stage control. Even Watermelon Steven, Rick struggles to kill Watermelon Steven, man, which is that's how you know you're a mid character when you struggle to kill Watermelon Steven. Like shit is tough, so I don't have an easy option for that. And yeah, I think 40-60 is fair. Another 40-60 matchup. Superman. It's crazy how the tides have turned. Superman is a rough matchup for Rick for a lot of the reasons I've said about the other characters. He lives forever. He kills Rick super early, and you can't ledge trap or edge guard him. Not to mention, he makes all of your projectiles useless with unlimited freeze breath. You can't even use polymorph near Superman. You literally can't even use polymorph near Superman without him freezing that shit. So how do you fight Superman? Spam jab and try and get as many combos as you can. Jab is your only tool against this character. It is a really, really good tool, no question, but it's the only thing you got. You can combo him, but he doesn't die in a 150, man. Like, he just doesn't die in a 150. So, I think if they literally put a meter on freeze breath, it would make the matchup more tolerable. It'd probably still be bad, because how do you edge guard Superman? How do you do it? I don't know. I don't have the answers. I mean, I have to try and find out, but I don't have any answers with it right now. So is that the last 40-60 matchup? There's one more that I'm thinking about. There's one more that I'm putting in 40-60, I think. Tom and Jerry. The main reason, it's pretty simple with this matchup. Jerry shot beats everything. Literally any Meeseeks, it just goes right through it, and he can reflect every one of your projectiles. Just anything you send, Meeseeks, laser, he just uses his little tennis racket, sends it right back at you. He can camp better than you, he can combo better than you. Like, he just... What do you do against Tom? You just gotta spam jab and pray. That's your best tool, really. You gotta try and get some good edge guards. He's a little vulnerable off stage, so you can do some stuff there. But yeah, I feel like that's the last losing matchup for Rick. Let's get into the 50-50s. Start with Black Adam. Black Adam could be 40-60. Like, I think it's a little close because he kills... Dude, I feel rinse and repeat. I'm sorry if you're tired of hearing the same shit, but, like, it's simple. Rick struggles to kill. He takes a lot to kill. You have to get them to a high percent. But this game is kill versus. Everybody in MultiVersus, aside from Rick pretty much, presses one button and kills you at 80. Why? I don't know. That's just how it works. So Black Adam can just murder you at any time with Sair and Clap and so many other things. And yet Rick has to get you to 140, 130. I think his jab is really good though in the matchup. He can get some really good combos on Black Adam. But his ledge trapping also really, really hard. Bro can just fly. He can just fly away. So it's dealing with him is really, really tough. Honestly, I'm almost leaning towards 40-60, but I'm going to put him in even just because how much you can combo Black Adam. And you can use lasers against him, which is nice. It's rare you could actually use lasers in matchups because laser sucks, and most characters have ways to deal with it, but you could actually use laser against Black Adam for the most part. Though he can use his lightning grab and chain against lasers, but that's another, it's just a matter of mixing up the lasers. Meeseeks also, you can kind of use them a little bit, but jab and portal combos are kind of your bread and butter against Black Adam. You can get a lot of those, so because of that, I think it is an even matchup. Next, I'm going to go Harley. I feel like Harley is actually an even matchup for Rick. Rick can deal with Harley stuff pretty well. He can actually kill her decently early, because she's super light. Her slide isn't as good anymore, which is really the difference maker. If her slide was still insane, it'd be 40-60 because that goes under lasers, obviously. But you can actually use lasers and Meeseeks pretty well against Harley. You can really use portal setups as well against her to cover a lot. She's not like that fast. So she's not that bad to deal with. Juggles as well. Like she has good juggle options, but you do have Jetpack to try and get out of them, and aerial Meeseeks. But you could also ledge trap and edge guard Harley pretty well, which is a big part of the matchup. Definitely very, very capable of edge guarding and ledge trapping Harley, getting kills from that, and playing advantage. So that's really, really good for Rick. And next, let's move on to, let's just do Bugs Bunny. Thank God for the Bugs nerfs, man. Thank God for the Bugs nerfs, because this character is still strong. Rick can actually use laser in this matchup for the most part, which is nice. He can actually zone, because Bugs doesn't have too many anti-zoning tools, which is awesome. Yeah, Jab's also really good in this matchup for stuffing out a lot of his stuff. Bugs Bunny's combo game isn't as insane as it used to be, and he can kill kind of early, but Bugs has to get like a good read to kill kind of early, and Rick actually doesn't have to get you to 150 to kill Bugs Bunny. He gets Bugs Bunny to 110, 120, and he dies from up tilt, so that's really, really, really good. Yeah, I don't know. There's not too much else to say on the matchup there. I feel like it's pretty even and could really go either way. Both characters have a lot of setups and crazy, crazy stage control, so they kind of just take turns using their stage control, and it almost cancels each other out, and then it's just combo and kill game. So let's next. Who else is an even matchup? I'm gonna go Taz. I thought Taz might have been 40-60 to be honest. I still think he could be because his bite just eats, my projectiles. Like, story of the day of just Rick's projectiles being absolutely useless. Taz definitely does that. The only reason he's in 50-50 right now is because the character just isn't that strong right now, but as soon as he gets buffs, which he will, he'll go right back to 40-60 to be completely honest, because he can eat all my projectiles. And he has Tornado and Cloud, which is really, really hard to deal with. Like, I can use Aerial Meeseeks, but it only trades, it doesn't win. Dude, I don't know. I think I'm actually going to change my mind and put him back in 40-60. Like, really thinking about it, he just has so much to beat Rick. Like, he really does. He has all the tools, like with being able to negate my projectiles, Tornado and Cloud. Like, when I'm off stage, there's not really much I can do at all. And he kills super early, which, dude, even his dash stack kills super early and goes under laser and beats Meeseeks. So it's just tough, man. It's really tough. Taz can also kill super early, which is really tough for Rick because he's light and he explodes. Rick can kill Taz at a decent percent. You get edge guard him a bit, Taz's recovery isn't the best, so he can definitely take advantage there. But on stage, like, Taz just has better tools to beat Rick. I really think he does, mainly because of his bite. It's crazy how many losing matchups I feel Rick has, but this is the truth. It's just, when you negate Rick's projectiles, like, he is half of a character, and it's the 50%, the half is jab. Like, it's just jab, and you can only spam jab so much, man. Like, you can only spam jab so much when Rick's projectile game is freaking useless. So back to 50-50s. I'm gonna put Marvin in here. Marvin feels pretty even. I've heard some Marvin players actually say that they think Marvin beats Rick, but both times I played against Marvin in tournament, I was able to get the win. I think you can deal with his ship pretty well because of Jetpack and just Jetpack's air real quick. Even if he does that, I guess Polymorph wouldn't be a good idea because you'd be a bigger target against the rocket. But he can kind of take over a lot of your projectiles with his stuff, but Rick actually has a better combo game than Marvin, which is nice. And Rick can kill about as early as Marvin. Like, Marvin doesn't really blow you up, and neither does Rick, so you're kind of even in that area. So I feel like that matchup isn't too bad. It's definitely manageable. Next, let's go to LeBron James. I think LeBron is an even matchup, especially after his buffs. Before that, I might have put it in Rick favor, to be honest. But I think that this is a pretty even matchup. Rick can combo LeBron really well, but LeBron can also combo Rick really well. Does take a bit to kill, and LeBron can kill you a bit early, but LeBron can't kill you nearly as early as he used to be able to. The big thing, though, is both characters can edge guard the shit out of each other. Like, when LeBron's off stage, Rick can really, really take advantage. Like, that's the key to the matchup, is dominating LeBron off stage. But he can also really do a lot against you when you're off stage, so yeah, you need to do a lot of portal setups to deal with LeBron. If he just throws basketball down, it's pretty tough to deal with, actually, because laser is useless, and Meeseeks, I believe, lose to basketball unless you do golf club Meeseeks. He can obviously defense as well to get his ball back, so I feel like the matchup's kind of even. I'm really comfortable with it, and still I lose to LeBron. Sometimes I lost to one earlier that just beat my ass, so it's not that bad of a matchup for Rick. Jab is really the key. Like always, if you spam jab enough, get some crazy combos on him, you can definitely beat up on LeBron. Banana Guard. I have not played Banana Guard much at all since, or like week 1, week 2. But Ronan's Banana Guard showed me that Banana Guard can definitely make some noise in the matchup. His grounded side special goes through Meeseeks, so anytime you set up a Meeseeks, man, he gets grounded side special and kill you at 80. But you can combo Banana Guard pretty well. You can beat up on him. His options are pretty predictable for the most part, so if you do just whiff punish, like, you can really beat up on him. Same as everybody else, he can kill you stupid early, but Rick doesn't. You don't have to get him to too high a percent to kill him. 120, 130 is manageable. So I feel like it's a pretty even matchup. You just gotta whiff punish, play patient around him, and it's pretty manageable. Real quick, just gonna throw Giant in here, man. I don't know what's up with Giant. Like, Rick has a pretty good matchup against him, but Giant's still Giant. Like, realistically, I think Giant should beat everybody if you're good with the character, but Rick does have a decent amount of counterplay to at least deal with Giant. So I think if they get to a point where he's balanced, it could be Rick favored. But as of now, with how much crazy stuff Giant has, even with it being a good matchup for Rick, I feel like it's still 50-50, because he could just explode you, man, and you can't kill him till what percent? Like, it's kind of nuts. Can you explain how does Superman beat Rick? Freeze Breath, man. Freeze Breath beats everything I have, and I can't edge guard him because he has the best offstage game in the game. If you want to hear more in depth, check out the YouTube video. I'm definitely going to be uploading all this, so let's move on. 50-50s. Dude, like, Rick has no winning matchups. This is actually so sad right now. And literally 60-40 is probably going to be, like, freaking Garnet and Jake and Velma. That's probably going to be it. I guess Jason, too, so. But Stripe, 50-50. Even matchup, man. Not a bad matchup, honestly. Does have skateboard to deal with projectiles, but that's kind of it. You can play around that pretty well. His moves are still pretty massive, so they're hard to beat out, but if you whiff punish and use jab, you can combo him pretty good. His combo game is pretty even with Rick, and his kill game pretty even with Rick. So I feel like you have a decent amount of tools to really deal with Stripe, honestly. He's not that bad of a matchup. And I feel like that's just even. I haven't played the matchup that much, though, to be completely honest. Last matchup, that's 50-50. And no, I think Agent is as well. I think these are the last two. And honestly, those are, like... I think that's fair, because Rain Dog is really tough, but with portal setups, you can do a lot to really make him not set up. You can use portal to make him uncomfortable, send stuff behind him when he's trying to set up his crystal or anything like that. Of course, your projectiles lose to all of his projectiles. His giant fireball can't be reflected by golf club Meeseeks, which really sucks. And his little spitballs also just destroy everything I have. But you can just jab, man, and it works. It's really good against Rain Dog. It's that simple. Jab is insane against Rain Dog. So that's kind of your win con at the end of the day, using jab. Sadly, that is the case for the most part with Rick. Then Agent Smith. It's obviously very, very new, so I'm not too confident in the matchup. He can just shoot through everything you have, which kind of sucks, but you can combo him really well. Agent Smith is a really good combo weight and pretty good size, so you can get a lot of good jab portal combos on him. That's about all I have to say for right now, because it's still so early, and I don't know the matchup too well, to be honest, but 50-50 seems fair. And last but not least, let's put all of these guys in 60-40. This is what we got. Most of these, sadly, are because Jake and Velma just aren't that strong at all. So Rick is just a better character. But Garnet and Jason, even Jason I hesitate to put in 60-40, to be honest. I probably think it's more 50-50. Because he can just use his armor, and guess what? Rick has no armor breakers. So you have to dedicate perks to it, and the perks suck. They are terrible for dealing with armor. But Rick can combo the shit out of Jason, and that's the obvious reason he's here. Rick can absolutely combo the shit out of Jason. Like, he gets so much, just jab, portal, like, rinse and repeat, you get a lot. And same pretty much goes with Garnet. Like, the reason that he wins these matchups are because they're big bodies and easy to combo. That's what helps with Rick. Also, both of them are very vulnerable off stage, which is where Rick shines. So I think that's why they're winning, and these two characters are just weaker than Rick. I genuinely am not downplaying. You guys know I'm very confident in Rick. I think Rick is really, really strong. The problem is that everybody here has a ton of counterplay to most of Rick's kit. Rick is a jab machine, and outside of that, he doesn't have much. He does not have much. Most of these characters, like, let's go back 40-60 man, Joker. Combo character, right? Heavy character, right? Lives forever. Guess what? His projectiles, better than Rick's. Makes any sense for the zoner that is Rick? Tom and Jerry. Up tilt loops, combos that are maybe better than Rick's, if not even with Rick's, but way easier to do. No question about it. And Jerry shot beats all of Rick's projectiles. So Rick can't do anything besides spam jab. Even Taz, man, eats all my projectiles. Like, when Rick doesn't have his projectiles, all he does is spam jab, man. And if you're able to play around jab, you should be able to beat Rick. That's all. If that's all you have to worry about, Rick's jab's insane. It's a really good move. I'm not gonna downplay Rick's jab, but if you're only worried about Rick's jab, you shouldn't be losing to Rick, because most characters here, all characters here, can negate pretty much everything besides Rick's jab, and that's what it comes down to. That's what the problems are. He can't use his projectiles like he needs to be able to use his projectiles against most of the cast, man. Because Rick Laser loses to literally everything. Rick Laser has to be the worst projectile in the game, man. Like, it's so bad. It is so small and it loses to everything. Like, even Batarang beats Rick's Laser straight up. Like, why can't it trade? Why can't it trade? No, it just loses straight up. Okay. And you could say that for most of the characters here, and that's the problem. Like, Morty Laser beats Meeseeks and Rick Laser. It's just tough, man. It's just tough. Even a lot of the characters in 50-50, like Rick's projectiles, just lose to a lot of what these characters have. Like, and the other problem, aside from Rick's projectiles being useless, is Rick really struggles to kill in a game where nobody struggles to kill and people blow you up at 80. That is the sad part about Rick. I think realistically, though, Rick is really close to being good, man. He's really close to being a good top-tier character, or at least a high-tier character. But you gotta do something about the fact that his kill power is just not good, and his projectiles are just not good. Like, Gopal tried telling me that Rick's a zoner, man. How does a zoner have worse projectiles than combo characters and non-zoners? Like, how am I supposed to zone when everybody could just crouch under my projectiles? And Meeseeks can just lose to everything. Like, I don't know what you're supposed to do in a lot of the matchups, man. Because you can't camp. You can't. They just crouch. And Finn doesn't even need to crouch. He's just short. So he can just be, and I can't use my projectiles, so Gotta make Rick less of a jab bot. Gotta give him other kill options. More importantly, I don't think his kill options are necessarily even that much of a problem. Like, Rick can kill if he gets good conversions, but the fact is he has to actually work to kill, and the rest of the cast doesn't. If they make the rest of the cast have to work to kill like Rick does, I think we'll actually be in a great spot. I think instead of bringing Rick's kill power to the rest of the cast level, I think the rest of the cast needs to go to Rick's level as far as kill power. Because I like that Rick needs to do good conversions at 120 to get a kill, or get like an early edge guard read and kill, or like he has to get a really good read off stage to actually kill. Because also Rick's down air is the worst down air in the game. If you haven't played Rick, try out that down air. You'll see how disgusting about it is. It is horrible how bad Rick's down air is. Like, the hitbox is laughable in a game where hitboxes are huge. So I think they need to balance the kill power closer to where Rick's at, and we'll be in a way better spot. Because most of these characters just kill no problem at 80 off baby combos. And Rick has to do jab into portal, reading the DI, into down air, into up air. And that kills at, like, freaking LeBron, bro. That wouldn't kill until, like, jab at 120, you know? So, it's a bit of a struggle. It's crazy because I think this is genuinely my honest opinion on Rick's matchup chart, and I don't think Rick's a bad character. It's just, it's too much anti-zoning tools and too little kill power for this man right here. But I feel like that wraps up my overall thoughts on